Hey, it's Kekeluv. We are at Boise State University on the Blue. Now, currently, I have to go around and sit down in every seat. We're doing it for the kids as we rise up against child abuse. And I have the president of the university, President Tromp. And it's interesting because it was last July, I was talking to my boss, and he goes, you know what you should do, man? You should sit in every seat at Boise State. And we were sitting there, and I was there with Moog, who's our morning guy, and we were just going, let's do it. I never turn away something, right? But in my mind, I'm like, it's Boise State University. We sit out here and we look at the things that have happened on this blue. I mean, where we're standing right now, nobody else has this
That's
color.
right.
And you were telling me the reason. If somebody else said, you know what, we want to do orange, how would they make that happen?
They'd have to contact Boise State University because that concept, that innovation is ours.
Wow.
We own that innovation. And so they have to have our permission in order to do it. And in fact, what we say about the university is we think, in a lot of universities, the sports program, the athletics program is something entirely separate from the rest of the university. At Boise State, the way we think and operate in our athletics program is the way our whole university operates. And so what we call that innovation, that creativity, that willingness to think in new ways and to explode out of the box, not just think out of the box, we call that blue turf thinking. And so the field is iconic, not just because we're champions, but because it's the way this university operates in the world.
Yeah, so they have to do a lot to get their field changed, and I have a feeling that's probably not going to happen for a while.
It just happened, actually, when I came in for my announcement of the presidency, when they announced me as the choice. They were changing the field. So it just happened 2 years ago.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. Why, one of the things I didn't think would happen would be, there's got to be what they call it, red tape, blue tape. It's just not going to happen. And time was just going and going, and we're trying to figure out what's the next thing we're going to do. And we were pushing our guys, and they were trying to go around, talk to people, and I was like, no, listen, this is just you. I know you just sit back. Because there's a lot of change happening right now. And then they said, we're doing it, setting up a Zoom meeting. So let me ask you, President, why signing off to let some crazy radio people come sit in some seats at a time during a pandemic that we're all wearing masks, in a time that there's going to be a new season, in the time that graduation's next week and they're cleaning, also in time where spring game. I mean, yes, I've had both my vaccines, but still, new coaches, new aid, just everything is new. That's a big challenge, period, that you have on your plate, to be standing here and talking to me. But you said yes. Your team said yes. Why is that?
I can tell you exactly why. Because this university is committed to, is a part of, and cares about this community. And when you teach, when your mission is to teach, you have to care about people and how they grow and how they learn. And child abuse is something that cuts off possibilities for people. And what a university wants to do is open those possibilities up. Let people develop their talents and let their talents grow. And there's so much that each individual human has to offer the world. What I always say is each person is the only person in the world who has both their experience and their talents. And we are poorer for it if those talents don't get shared back, if they don't get developed. And so for us to care and be committed is to make a difference in that life and in the lives of everyone who benefits from the interaction with that person. And the same is true for all the other people in those situations. So when we're talking about domestic violence and child abuse, there are a constellation of people in that situation. And we have a responsibility to try to heal all of that suffering. And what you're doing is you're making a call to heal some of that suffering so that all those gifts and talents can be developed for that individual and for the world.
Well, I mean, it's unbelievable we know if we don't stop it young, right? This kid's not going to come to Boise State University, college, or make it through school.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle, but you have history here. So it's not like you're doing this, right? Then this opportunity comes up for somebody else they want to do this. And by the way, I don't know how many come across the desk, because there has to be a lot, right? But
Everybody wants to come to the blue.
But you have history with domestic violence and standing up for people. So this is personal to you too.
Yes. So I spent 6 years on the board and as president of the board of a battered women's shelter that also dealt with cases of incest and sexual assault. And my first book was about how domestic violence law emerged and how we came to understand what it meant. You know, how people's minds changed about whether or not it was acceptable to harm a child or harm a spouse. And again, this comes back to that issue of human value and human potential. If you believe in human value and you believe in human potential, you can't destroy that.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, having worked on a hotline where I answered domestic violence calls, and this was in Wyoming, so I was on the phone with someone when she was shot by her partner. In that moment, I heard the shotgun blast. We don't want to lose those people and all they have to give, and them for their very selves. And so the work that you're doing here to raise attention and awareness, and particularly when we're talking about children. Children are innocents that come into these situations. If we can keep them safe, they can grow and develop and give back and experience the love they should. That's one of the greatest gifts we can give to the world.
That's powerful. Well, and you know, when you say you have to lead, I mean, we are on the blue, and it's kind of like, you know, it's not easy to say it's our responsibility, but it kind of is our responsibility, right? There's, you know, different fraternities and sororities that are already doing this. They all have something that they stand for. When the university comes up and says, we're going to do this and we're turning this over because it starts here. If we can stop it here, we will never get to that phone call that you received.
That's
so look, I just appreciate you having us out here, and I'm not going to make, if anything, I could probably save you a lot because I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning all of the seats. And I can do a little bit extra if you need me to do a little extra. But we're excited. The weather's going to be nice and beautiful for the rest of the week. And it was gloomy and cloudy and raining. And what I was saying is that like that's okay, because first off, that's what life is. Up and down, but it's pretty dark for these kids and these families that are out there. So, you know, for me, I can go home and get taken care of by some of the best here at the university, put my legs in these things, and as a kid, and you know, it never goes away. It'll get better, but if we don't stop it, it continues, and that cycle is vicious. So you're helping us stop the cycle, hopefully.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you. That was a powerful story.